Welcome to Bold Talk series where creativity, leadership, ideas, innovation come together. My name is Epi Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Dan Drogman, founder and CEO of Smart Spaces. Dan, great to see you and welcome to our Bold Talk series. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Dan, yes, exciting journey you got. First, let's start with your long before Smart Space existed. What first pulled you toward building software companies instead of following a more conventional career path?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think I got inspired to go into this industry through my dad, actually, alongside my brother, who's my business partner. My dad was a printer and he see how much technology disrupted his industry. And print was pretty much in decline throughout his whole career. So he started in the print in the 50s and right up until he retired, it was always year on year, people were replacing print with digital. So at a young age, he got me and my brother our first PC when we were around about 5 years old. And PCs in the 80s, obviously MS-DOS, we had to write command line just to play games. So we started coding at quite a young age and really sort of inspired us to get into technology. Fast forward to when I was about to leave school and go to university, it was a dot-com boom. So web designers were getting paid fortunes to build websites. And I quite fancied doing that as a career because I like the bridge of sort of design and technology. And so went off to uni, studied web design, and then started my career straight after the dot-com bust. And when, it wasn't quite the career I thought it might be, but still really enjoyed it. And building websites for these clients, we were always sort of adding some extra functionality. Maybe it'll be a e-commerce checkout functionality. Maybe it's a booking calendar. We're always taking it far beyond a website to a web application. And so that was sort of my career right up until 2010 when we founded Smart Spaces.
Nice. So you founded Smart Spaces before even the words like PropTech, the digital twins, and smart buildings became part of an everyday conversation. Which year was that, Dan?
2010, yeah, so 2010. And so, no, you're totally right. And in all honesty, I really struggled with prop tech and like some of the other terms around our industry when we first started. I don't know. I think what it was is that people were saying that this is like a new industry, it never existed. And I was like, well, no, we've been doing this for some time. So yeah, around 2015. But now actually we fully embrace it and we love it.
Yeah. Now, what did you see in the future workplaces that most people completely missed at the time? And what gave you the conviction to bet your career in, in this vision?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the luxury of building a lot of different software platforms throughout my career. So we've built platforms for office agents to lease properties and match like a marketplace. We built a peer-to-peer foreign exchange platform. We built a meeting and booking system for Marriott. And so we get to like sort of tread our toes in various different industries and software platforms and products. And the one I really enjoyed the most was building the booking system because the client really wanted that seamless user experience. And it was quite early actually working with them, but they got us introduced to iBeacon with Apple, and we started to position people in spaces, bring up bookings when you approach the space. And so that really started to sort of ignite the fire for wanting to go into the smart building technology.
Yeah. Now, when we hear about smart building, we think about like, okay, more connected IoT devices. If you could redesign the modern office from a blanket sheet of paper today, knowing everything you know now, what would look radically different from a workplace we still walk into every day?
Definitely think that there should be more work done with like low power DC systems. So, I think it's crazy that every desk in the office has a 240 mains plug. I mean, and then you've got what, if you've got 30 desks, you've got 30 transformers converting electricity down to say 5 or 12 volts for a laptop. I think there should be more investment in the power networks to be more efficient and low power. I also think with that, you could also leverage more monitoring of the devices, especially if you say powered the laptops over PoE rather than powering them via 240 mains. You'll get more intelligence, more security. So I think that's something that's missing. I'm very surprised we are still, putting in 100 plug sockets for 100 desks. It's quite shocking, really.
Huh. Now, then you mostly worked in UK, is that right, or another other countries?
No, we're in 30 countries actually.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we've expanded a lot, and a lot of that is through we've got sales teams and all continents now, which is amazing. But also, a lot of our big enterprise customers deploy us around the world. So we'll tend to follow wherever they have an office, we'll deploy our solution. So that's really enabled us to have rapid expansion around the world.
Now, and in that case, you've got all these customers, they are obviously cross border. Can you share a moment when a client challenged your assumption and forced you to completely rethink what the smart building should actually deliver?
Yeah, they do. We were second guessing what people wanted in the beginning alongside our clients. And we'd have these great brainstorming sessions where we'd dream up things that we think the clients would want. But what we quickly learned is to use the analytics. And the great thing about having a workplace app is that we can monitor exactly what people do with the app and what they don't do. And that let us refine the product very quickly by having that feedback loop. So we worked out that if a particular feature wasn't working, we could try to adapt that feature to make it more engaging, or actually just discount it and take it out of the platform because actually we've second guessed something someone doesn't need.
Yeah. Good point. Dan, I adore and I have a high respect for for siblings working together, family working together. So you're one of them with your brother Tom and family. What has been the toughest moment in that partnership, or how has building a company together changed your relationship as brothers?
From my standpoint, you must have to check with my brother as well. But I absolutely love it because I get to see him every day, which is amazing. A lot of siblings don't see each other. Our sister, she doesn't work in the business. We see her once a month, and we're really lucky. But seeing my brother every day is fantastic. And I think the thing I'd boil it down to is that we're so different. We are really different individuals. He's a far better programmer than me, which is really good. So he's very much in the product, and I'm more external facing sales and strategy, managing the company day to day. So yeah, I think we complement each other, have great respect for each other. Obviously, we've had a few tiffs in the office, which has been embarrassing over the years. But touch wood. That's probably like the last time we fell out in the office, probably about 5 years ago. So yeah, we've sort of really got to know each other, and we work well together.
Amazing. Love it. Now, the future of work has changed dramatically over the last few years with hybrid work, especially post COVID, changing employees' expectation, AI reshaping the workplace. Which of these shifts do you believe companies are still fundamentally misunderstanding and what they will regret ignoring 5 years from now?
I definitely think you need to be collecting data surrounding your workplace. I think it's crazy how much like real estate costs are for businesses, and the fact that they don't monitor it to a level where they can truly understand what they need and what they don't need. I think the same level of analytics we have in our app, you should have in your workplace, so you can work out exactly how much space, what type of space you need, and when you fit out your new office, really study that data from your existing setup because there's so many offices that we see the tenant move in and then they've got this breakout area which they think looks fantastic and everyone's going to use, and then you find that no one ever uses those sofas, and eventually you're replacing that space with desks, and it's so much waste. I think the other thing is, especially if it's a UK issue, is the is Cat A and Cat B. So where we work on these beautiful buildings, and the developer invests a fortune putting the most fantastic reception in, the best lighting, and then a tenant leases the building and rips all of that out, and that goes straight into the skip, which is like terrible both financially and for sustainability. And so I definitely think this Cat A, Cat B needs to be changed. We are seeing more buildings come to market with shell and core, which is good, but there's still not been enough done there.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of a growing conversation around sustainability, but many companies they still treat it as a reporting exercise instead of operational advantage. And this is one great example what you just mentioned about that too.
Definitely.
Then I like to ask this question to all my guests, and that is about the word bold. What does the word bold mean to you personally?
I'd say you've got to be willing to take risks. I think that's the key. I think yeah, you've got to be willing to try something new, and if you fail, try again. Don't give up. Uh, I wouldn't say founded in 2010. Smart Spaces is not an overnight success. We're 16 years into this journey, and so yeah, I think don't give up, and that's what I feel bold is.
Yeah, and still going strong and excited too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's great.
Dan, great seeing you. Thank you for joining this Bold Talk series. Until next time, take care, be great, and be bold always. Bye bye.
Brilliant. Thanks, Epi. Cheers.